Hey, good evening, friends. It is Carl. Welcome back to the bathroom. That means it's time for a shave. It is Tuesday, April 3rd. I've got 24 hours worth of growth. Got to take it off because I've got patients to see and I can't be scruffy. They don't like it. Anyway, so hope everybody's doing well. Let's get into the shave. It's a new month, and even though on Sunday I didn't use the stuff that I was going to use for the theme, this month's theme, I can't talk. This month's theme, since it's A is for almond. So I'm going to be shaving with all almond scented soaps this month. I've got a couple of them to choose from. We've got Cella, Figaro, Almond Cream by Sterling. I've used this one before, fantastic. Colonel Conch Almond, this is one of my favorite almond scents. This is actually my second puck. And then P160. This will be the one that I am using tonight, the RazoRocK P160. We'll be finishing it off with the matching balm. Hopefully I don't have a bad reaction to it. Almond scents, because I guess it's the nut oils or something, tend to be an allergy producer. I know one of the guys, Mr. Dave Card, in one of the Facebook groups, tried the P160 and had a terrible reaction to it. Apparently he said his face turned purple and it was just bad times. So that's what we're going to give a shot tonight. I've got a little bit of it pressed in to the old salsa dish. It's a very soft soap. It's got a nice almondy scent, but it's also got just a little bit of a chemical smell to it. I'm not sure what that's all about. It's not a bad smell, it's just not real smooth. It's kind of sharp. Alright, and for the shaver, Shavette World version 1 Shavette. I've got a brand new Royal Red blade. I've never used Royal Red blades before. This was in a half blade sampler pack that I was gifted by Jonathan Zinn and Ronnie Greer. I can never say his right. Man, I can't talk tonight. Alright, anyway, so Ronnie, Jonathan, thanks a lot for the brush. Wet Shave Club Boar. Yeah, that's what it is. So, anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Hope your week is going well. Mine's not too shabby. Had a decent day at work. I was off yesterday, so that makes it nice. Back to work today until Friday, and then I'm off on the weekend. But things are good. Work has been steady, but not too busy. Met a couple of nice patients this week, so that's always a bonus. So yeah. Let's see, what else can I talk about while I'm making this quick little lather? Let's see. Minimalism stuff still in the process. You guys may or may not have seen my jankety dresser job, but I weighed out that stack of clothes I got rid of when I replaced my dresser. 22.6 pounds of old clothes that didn't fit or I didn't wear, stuffed into those broken dresser drawers. And so I jammed them all in a basket, put some saran wrap around it, carried it to the local charity so that they can redistribute it as they see fit. So yeah, that was interesting. It probably ended up being closer to 25 pounds because in the back of my truck that I had forgotten I had back there was some bed linens, like some single full size or twin or whatever, like this, just single bed linens that I had from work, from when I used to work 24-hour shifts. I've just been riding around in the back of my truck behind the seat for like 3 years. I figured, hey, I ain't using it, so might as well give it to somebody. Somebody can give it to their kid or something. You know, it's just made for a small bed. Gosh, I'm flinging lather everywhere. It's a mess. And This one may not be for me. I'm getting just a touch of tingling on the cheeks and on the upper mustache area, so that's a little concerning. So we're gonna call that good and get on with the shave and see if anything comes out of this. God, I got so far over my shoulder, ridiculous. All right. So first pass, first use on the Royal Red Blade, first use with the Almond P160 by RazoRocK. Nice, it's comfortable, nice and slick, as you would expect from RazoRocK. So this Shavette I bought secondhand from Jonathan Zen, and I think it may be on its last leg. I'm not saying he sold me a lemon by any means, but the clamp arm is pretty loose and kind of wonky. When I was loading this blade in, had a bit of a time getting everything nice and tight to keep the blade stable in the holder. So I don't know how many more uses I'm going to get out of it before that little swing arm breaks. But you know, I've gotten my money's worth. It was a secondhand razor and he sold it to me for a really good price. So even if it does end up crapping out on me, no biggie, no biggie, no hard feelings. So far, aside from the slight tingle, soap's doing really well. Nice and slick, nice and cushiony. The harsh kind of chemical smell, and I think it's, I don't want to say chemicals, but it's definitely it's a fake almond kind of smell. Kind of mellowed out as I built the lather, so not bad at all. I think for my money and my nose, so far, I'd say I like the Colonel Conch and the Sterling Almond Scents better. And out of the tub, this was actually my least favorite. I think the Chilla's got a little bit of a nicer scent on it, and the Figaro does too. So, like I said, of the almond scents I have, just out of the 10, this was my least favorite scent. As far as the Royal Red Blade, it's nothing to write home about, but it's definitely no Bluebird. If I had to compare it to something else that I've used in the past, I'd say its sharpness is right up there with some of the, like the Gillette stainless. the 7 o'clock line. Smoothness. It's a little bit, it's kind of rough. It's a little, maybe a step or two above a derby in my opinion, but as with anything, all that stuff is subjective. So, first pass. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's get the second pass here. I'm just going to go back, pick up a little bit more soap off of the sample. The tingling seems to have subsided, so that's a good thing. I think with as I apply it, it comes back a little bit, but as the shave progressed, it got a little less noticeable instead of worse. So, who knows about that? I do not. It's not making my face on fire like the Sterling Rose, which I think that was probably the worst reaction I've had as far as discomfort. And then the one that breaks my heart is the LaToya stick. Just gave like burning rash and terribleness, and that's probably the overall worst reaction, because I legitimately get a rash with that one. The rose water just kind of made my face red and irritated, or the Sterling Rose. So far so good. Paso numero dos. So let's see, what else can I yammer about? Studying for that stinking test. I feel pretty comfortable with some of the information, but there's a handful of stuff that I don't have 100% mastery of the information, so I need to study and clarify a few things. But at this point, if I had to take the test tomorrow, I'm still pretty confident I could pass. Probably wouldn't pass well, but I'd pass. So I got a handful of more days. Terrible English. A handful of days to study. So I think I'll be okay. I gotta start brushing up on some of my medication calculations, because you guys know I'm no good at math. So I always have to practice that stuff, and it's all dimensional analysis, algebra, ratio, proportion type stuff. So I got to do that, and then review some EKG interpretation, just because I don't look at them anymore, or very often anymore, you know. When I was on the ambulance full time, wasn't a day that went by that I didn't look at those things like all day long, a handful of them at least. So it was kind of old hat, knowing what to look for. And now it's just a matter of refreshing my eyes. But it'll be all good. So enough of that work talk, man. I seem like I've been talking about work a lot lately, mostly because it seems like that's all I do. Work, shave, eat, and church. Watch a little TV now and again. And plot my future homelessness. Well, not homelessness, but minimalistic living with nomadic tendencies. Speaking of, so I'd been looking for like a real house, big 2-3 bedrooms, blah blah blah. Called my realtor yesterday and told him about my change in plan, and I could tell he wasn't super happy. I mean, he's done some work for me. He's put in a little bit of time, so I feel bad kind of changing the plan, but he hasn't put in all that much work. I mean, we've gone out a handful of times, probably an hour or so. Well, no, a couple hours of actual, work, like computer work and stuff. But other than that, man, they just put your name into a computer, and I get 8 emails every day with houses that fit what I was looking for. So when I texted him and told him the plan, I was like, hey, I don't want to buy a big house. I want a smaller house. I want a little bit of land and all that stuff. I could tell he was a little bit disappointed. One, because he put the work in. Two, it's probably less commission for him. I mean, let's be honest. But he's supportive. And so he's been out there doing a little bit of work for me. I had, I think I mentioned it to you guys, I had that coworker who had some family land. She had offered to sell me for really cheap, like a little 1/4 acre. Family's basically, essentially, they're never going to develop it. They're tired of paying taxes on it. So she made me an offer. So it was just a matter of finding out whether or not I could do what I wanted to on the land. Well, put my real estate agent on it, and he found out some of the deed restrictions, or at least he sent me the information. And if I read the deeds right, that land, I can do exactly what I want. Build the small house. It essentially said it has to be a permanent structure. It can be a manufactured home as long as it's got concrete pad under the wheels, if it is in fact on wheels, because some of those manufactured homes, they're not on wheels like they used to be. But anyway, so it's looking pretty promising. I'm going to print out the stuff and go talk to somebody who actually understands like all the legalese and stuff, and make sure before I make any further moves. So things are looking very promising. I'm excited because if I can get this land for the price that she's offering to sell it to me for, it's in a really nice area, mile or so, a couple miles from the lake. It's undeveloped, it's wooded. It's technically in the city limits, but the deed restrictions aren't very strict. So I could build the tiny house. And an outlying structure to put my caravan, RV, motor coach, whatever I decide to buy. And I'll be good to go. So hopefully it works out. Like I said, I'm still prayerfully considering all the stuff. I had kicked around the idea of living in full-time in a caravan, RV, whatever you want to call them. And I just think finding land in the area that's going to allow me to do that is going to be really hard. So I may have to settle for just a tiny site-built home, which is fine because it's still going to be a lot cheaper than paying a big mortgage on a 1,500 square foot house, or paying rent or whatever. So I'm excited. Hopefully, I didn't expect this to kind of fall into place so fast, but if it does, man, things are going to happen quick, hopefully. Or I could just buy the land and sit on it and take my time developing it, figuring out what's what. It all depends on what the lawyers and the contractors say. We'll have to get the land, you know, I'll have to get the land cleared and utilities established and all that kind of good stuff. So, but I'm excited, man. I'm super excited. I'm actually pretty excited about this shave too. I was concerned when I started getting the tingles, but that seems to have passed, and now I'm just getting a pretty decent shave. Could be a little bit better. I'm gonna blame that on the blade. It's not, like I said, not the best blade I've ever used. But that's where I'm at, y'all. I'm gonna be doing another minimalist purging video here pretty soon. I'm probably gonna start. I got a couple of gun accessories that I've purchased recently that I might do some reviews on. Just because when I was looking for information on these particular items, there wasn't much online. So maybe if I could help somebody out. So I might be doing another review on a piece of shooting gear, although YouTube's been getting pretty strict about that kind of stuff lately. So I don't know if it would be wise if I'm trying to build a viewer base for them to, you know, might make them not like me. Anyway, let me get rinsed off. This is not a bad shave at all. Pretty comfortable, no real irritation to speak of. BBS on the cheeks with a little extra work. And a fine shave on the neck. I wouldn't even say it's a DFS, but it's a fine shave. So, let's see what this balm is all about. Oh, I'm just sitting here flapping my yap. I didn't realize how slow I was moving, so. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Just a little bit. Oh, that's actually even got more of a chemical-y smell. That smells like some kind of weird petroleum soap product. I don't get much almond out of that at all. Maybe I didn't shake it well. No, that doesn't. Not a great smell, and that's actually giving me a little bit of a tingle as well. So that's it, y'all. Thank y'all so very much for spending the past 25 minutes with me. I hope your week is going well. Mine is going pretty well until I put this on. Just get a little burn. I'm gonna probably have to rinse that off. But the soap P160 by RazoRocK, not bad. Not my favorite almond scent, but it was a good performer, and I didn't break out into a rash. I still got quite a bit left over, so there's that. Shavette World Shavette, Volume 1, not too shabby. Royal Red Blade, meh. I probably won't do a second use out of it, or I might just to see if it gets better. Stick around and see. And until the next video, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great evening, great rest of the week. Hope you spend some time with your friends and family because it is really important. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. God bless. We'll see you next time.